When I was 16 years old, I started bagging groceries at Roche Brothers for $8 an hour. And then eventually I did everything at the store, including working my way up to stocking shelves. And then went on to work as a merchandiser and eventually worked at every store in Massachusetts. And then making 21 an hour, I stopped. And I had a troubling physical condition that had to force me to slow down and stop all the activities. You know, my foot was bothering me, my back, my neck, my head, nerve pain, muscle pain, the whole 9 yards, and I had to get some help. And then I had to sit with myself and do kind of nothing. And that was a good lesson of being enough, being worthy, not always having to be productive and make money. And now we shift into a new reality where there's infinite possibilities. And you serve, right? You serve your gifts, your magic, and your potential. However, still asking the question, who am I? What do I want? How can I make more money, right? So yeah, my intention, thanks to Paige Goldstein, is to go more public on LinkedIn authentically and share my story, express my raw truth, and help someone learn something, connect with people for future opportunities, right? And ideas. And that's what it's about, right? We got to use these tools to our advantage, and we live in the digital age where things are different. It's not the traditional 9 to 5 anymore, and it's not the traditional going to an office anymore. So this is how we take action. And for me, I did that. I worked 3 jobs for the past 10 years. And as I hit my 26-year-old milestone of health insurance and everything else that comes along with the responsibilities of getting older, I say, wow. I worked a sales job in payroll. I worked a sales job in credit card processing. And now I work a sales job in investing and helping people with their education and their literacy when it comes to the whole entire stock market. And I'm thrilled to be in this position. And I will tell you what, doing a lot of self-concept work and a lot of holistic health work, things like getting in the nature, like meditating, like really working on your posture, working on your breathing, right? Who you surround yourself with. I know that, you know, the best is to come through these challenges that I've experienced. And yeah, like the only way to make money is to obviously, you know, have a good salary, work for yourself, or invest, and ultimately doing what you love and helping others, right? That's how the flow of abundance comes, quantumly anyway. So yeah, for me, I come here in the morning and my mind is racing with the need to talk on here. And yeah, investing has been crazy for me. 90% of investors underperform the S&P 500. Fun fact. 90% of traders fail and then quit within, year 1, year 2, yada yada. I want to be that 10%, and yeah, I've lived through a lot of losses in the market. So I had job 1 for paycheck to paycheck. I had job 2 to pay for the extra uncertainty payments that came along with inflation. And 3 was to supplement my investment and to cover any of those losses that occurred, especially in 2022 when I made the biggest mistake to over leverage, over risk, lose on the downside, pull out some of my investments on the drop, not all of it, maybe like 30 to 40%, but that's significant because the smart investor would pull out the 30 to 40% on the top and then buy at the bottom. So, or just hold it all in general if you're not going to get too fancy there. But that costed me a boatload of money. I mean, I'm up 100% on my original S&P 500, and if I just did that, or even Tesla, I'm up like 200% on my original Tesla, right? Like, these are the lessons that you learn along the journey that you're not gonna win trying to do all these crazy things. So that is where I started my journey 5 years ago. I started investing because I worked hard. I was like, I'm gonna put my money to work. I had a financial advisor. He was in international. He was in small cap. I didn't enjoy the fact that I was paying him 1% a year. Not a big deal, but I wanted to do it myself. And I did. And I can tell y'all that it's been a wonderful journey. I have thousands of people I follow on social media and thousands of newsletters through the emails, and I was grateful enough to find True Market Insiders in 2020, and then I reached out to him on LinkedIn, the CEO, and I was able to secure a job this year in his customer service and sales department, which is aligned with all of my past roles and aligned with all of my interests, because I did payroll sales and I did credit card sales, and I ultimately didn't last longer than a year there. As I hit the 6-month mark here, I have already hit my largest revenue month, and it's only like, well, I hit it October 15th and now it's October 24th, and I'm surpassed it by a landslide. So how can I continue to be successful, right? And for me, leaning into your passion is huge, right? Like, I have a passion for this, like, no doubt about it. I watch videos upon YouTubers every night, charting, technical analysis, fundamental analysis. It continues to awe me at how obnoxious some of these gains are, and how the psychology behind supply and demand and fear and greed. And when I was in college, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to do psychology. I said, I want to do that, but I don't want to go to grad school and be in debt and spend years learning, and ultimately decide to do a communication major with a business minor. and a psychology minor too. So I'm happy to have all those skills from my degree and ultimately my job experiences after that. And working remote. It's allowed me to take care of my body and my mind. I mean, it's like 7:45 right now, and I still have a whole hour to chill and do things like this that are fun. And yeah, what I would say lastly, before I lose my train of thought and before the chaos of the day, distractions start to pop in and you get sidetracked. I'll have to edit this. Yeah, I would say that the fears and the limiting beliefs are truly what are causing me to hit a little bit of a roadblock here. Living with my parents, I'm at the 6-month mark at my job. Okay, how are we going to sustain this success? Right? And the discipline is what equals the freedom, right? Like getting up early and really getting yourself right. You know, showing up every day, stepping in your power, and attracting that right vibe. Like, you know, like really in your heart, like feeling what it feels like to be, you know, on the right side of things, on the winning side of things, and really feeling fulfilled, feeling like you made an impact, and it shows, you know, when I talk to people on the phone, like I'm doing my best to care for them and to listen to them and to, you know, be empathetic and all these traits that you want to do to you know, expand in your role. So but yeah, I mean, I was able to go to the beach yesterday. I was able to go on a hike the day before on my lunch breaks. Now I said to myself, I'm going to work at home all day today because I've been running around driving. I did DoorDash over the weekend and Instacart, and I made, you know, $250, but I was feeling it, you know, in my gut. I was feeling it in my chest, restriction, the tightness, the jagged breathing, you know, the nervous system upticked. The gut just, I don't know, just like going, you know, nonstop yang and not enough yin. And that's a big topic. Work-life balance with me is, not only was I forced to stop Gillette and Stocking Shelves, it's kind of what was for the best, because I was stretching myself too thin for years and not focusing enough on my one main thing, because I felt like it wasn't enough, and it still isn't necessarily for me, to be honest. I mean, I applied to a hotel and I got the job, and I haven't responded back because I really should not be doing that. You know, I don't know what it is, 20 an hour, whatever it is. Like, you know, it's not something I should be doing on the weekends or in the nights. I mean, I should really be doing nothing, right? That's the whole premise of our generation, in my opinion, is doing nothing is going to be like one of the most important skills. Without being lazy, of course, because I'm not lazy, in my opinion. In my dad's opinion, well, I didn't have enough routine, quote unquote. You know, he says that waking up at 8:30 and rolling out of bed and going straight to work is bad, which I will agree with him. However, today I wake up at 6:21 a.m. automatically because I've set my circadian rhythm to that, and I love it. However, I do feel like my body is not feeling great at 6 hours of sleep, and kind of just it's in that auto drive to go right now. So that's a big insight of mine, right? I'm sure you guys can resonate with that. But really keeping my chi together, right? Like keeping my chi right, holding it down. I see a major difference in that. I mean, yeah, I can't begin to explain the differences I feel now as opposed to the past. And it's a great reflection to myself of where I've come, where I've grown, and I get to see how what's the word? Suboptimal my routines used to be, right? Like, I mean, when you eat superfoods, like, it for sure makes a major energy shift. I mean, when you get that energy right, like it really is huge. And I'm here. I'm so tight that I can't lift, and I want to be stronger, right? Like that's a big goal of mine. And the thing is, like, you do what you can. You do what you can, and that's all you can do, right? So, insanity is doing the same thing every day and expecting different results, as my dad likes to say. And it's true. I think there's been a lot of moments where I quit a job or I changed career paths, and it has definitely been something that has been a blessing. And yeah, I come here and I want it. I want to start the businesses one day, but I know I'm not there yet by any means. And there's so many deaths of myself and, ego shifts that have to happen. And stepping into that self-worth once again, and that self-concept work is going to be big for me, and really feeling it. Like, I think for me, it's always been pushed down. It was a workaholic mentality, and it always will be somewhat ingrained in me somehow. And yeah, I need to really just trust the process and surrender and relax with it all. And that's what one of my good buddies, Merrill, would say to me. And yeah, I'm excited to study as Cody, helped me last night on a Discord call. We're looking at liquidity levels and that indicator that really shows like where the money buys the dips on the S&P 500 and where it's not a good time to buy. And it was really fascinating to me to be able to identify those setups and the patterns over and over and over again. I mean, some of it is unpredictable, that is for sure. But some of it, there is definitely a very niche, unique way of trading the market. And I continue to be fascinated when you get a 1.5% dip on the SPY on a random Wednesday, and they come out with news that something about Apple stock, iPhone, sales or something, and then, dumps the market. Like that, I don't know if that was a coincidence, that was just a reason to drop the market down, but I'm not sure. I'm still figuring out what the layers to it. But whew, yeah. That was my chat. That was my chat. So, yeah, I guess I'll post this one to YouTube and keep journaling and drinking some water. And we're here at the car, so. All right. Have a good one.